Well, hello there, everyone, and how are you guys? I hope doing fabulous. Yes. Well, before we get into this entertaining video, I would just like to remind you guys to like, comment, and subscribe if you have not subscribed already. And what would you like to say with that, Lady Crone?
Baby Crone said it all.
Yes.
Subscribe, like us, and please leave a comment.
Yes. Sunflowers.
Hello, my sunflowers. How are you? Well, I hope everything with you is copacetic as we go through this Friday. I hope you have a marvelous day and a great weekend. Now, with that being said, someone was talking to me about Tamar, and and I did a reading on her a while back, and they was asking the question. Well, I don't know if they were really asking, could you find this person?
Yes.
And they inspired me because they was thinking about how is she doing? Is she okay? And this person was allowing me to peekaboo into that JR is still talking about her like he missed the perks. I thought that JR went with Tammy.
I did.
Is that her name, Tammy?
Which?
It's her name Tammy. I'm from Love and Hip Hop.
Oh, yeah.
Her name Tammy?
Yeah.
You sure? Is her name Tammy?
Okay.
I don't know if it's Tammy. It's not Tammy. It's Tommy. Tommy. I thought he was with Tommy, and I thought that Tommy was pregnant.
Oh, yes, I do.
Remember that? That's where the story left off that I heard, and now I haven't heard any more. You hear anything? What do you hear?
No, I haven't heard anything about that besides that it's been crickets ever since.
But did you pull it up?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. It said reading and question mark. See, she's trying to move on, like you said in her last reading. But he's clearly bitter and misses the perks and connections. He's all online replying to comments saying news when they ask about her. Also, he's posting Birdman and Carlos King. He wants to keep all of her connections, but he can't stand her. Your last reading on those two were spot on. I'm just hoping Tamar is trying to move on from this because it looks that way.
And so with that, I thought that was right good because sometimes, we do read on people and then we forget all about them until the next thing showed up. So I thank you for that inspiration for me to go back and see how is she doing, because Tamar suffered mentally and she suffered with mental illness. And you're right. And I'm glad that you mentioned that. I want to go back and I'm going to read quickly, just a little quick to see how is she doing. And whatever the cards say, the cards say. Everything I say is a legend. Again, I don't know Tamar. I never met her a day in her life. I've seen her in person because I've been to their church a long time ago. But other than that, she was young. She wasn't Tamar. They were just young kids like everybody else. They wasn't stand out and doing anything like that. So anyway, they would come and they would sing and stuff like that. So that's how I know them. But I never knew them or hung out with them or anything like that. So here it is with Tamar. Let's see. That's going on with Tamar. Tamar, you want to speak? You want to speak to us? Oh, Tamar. You ready to hear what you have to say? Here we go. First part, moving on. Emotional. It was a very emotional, it was an eclipse. In other words, this thing was very hard for Tamar. She really invested in JR, from what I'm saying, because I see an eclipse of the heart. And what do you mean? I see an eclipse. I see the sun overshadowing the moon. Is that right? That's what an eclipse is. The moon overshadows. Thank you. The moon overshadows the heart, and I see that this was really rough on her, more harder than what many of us think it was. This was very hard on her, and I do see that she's moving on, but it left a hole in her heart. It definitely left a hole in her heart. So this is definitely emotions, and as you see, this is an 8. So you see that she is moving on. However, it's like not quite dark, but she still could be in a dark place. Let's see what the next card said. The next card saying is like, she's like, I'm going to turn these lemons into lemonade. So I see her now dealing with Mercury, really dealing with the raw essence of this. I see Mercury at play. I see that she's really about refining herself, really making herself being pure. This really affected her. And I also feel as though she was humiliated in this. This was a very dark time in her life. And I think that she felt bad for falling so in love with him and getting the wrong end of the deal. However, I go back, I truly believe that Tamar did something that hurt Tamar, that sent him in this world. And I stand on that. But nevertheless, she is trying to move on with the power in her. She is definitely moving on. Definitely.
Yes, I would just like to highlight how funny that the magician who's ruled by Mercury just happens to pop up right after an eclipse where the moon was covering the sun, and Mercury is the closest thing to the sun.
Isn't that something? Go ahead, break that down a little bit more.
So she's really maybe relying on her creative abilities and what she has, and maybe trusting herself and rebuilding herself.
It was not easy. This was an eclipse of the heart. She really loved him and she believed in him, but something happened that break him and her up. I think I seen a whiff of it, but they're not saying what it was. And whatever it was, I think it was enough where he felt his feelings fell for her. Sometimes you can be with a person and you love them, but when you see who they really are, it can make it sour. It can leave a sour taste. And I think that's what happened because I truly do believe that they are at one point. Something happened in their relationship, and it was something Tamar did. I feel so strongly about that, and I said it before, and I say it then. And however, I think Tamar did everything she could to try to win him back, to show that she was sorry, to show that it would never happen again. She begged, pleaded, borrowed, and steal, and he just couldn't forgive her, and he to move on. Even when he went with Tommy, he forced her to move on. Here, I see Tamar she's laying low. She's laying low. She's out of the fray. I don't even see her on this nation. I don't know. I just see Tamar as taking a sabbatical in some way in her head. I still think she's taking time out. I see this four of swords. So when I see the swords, she's about to do something because the five is about to come. So she's about to do something. But I think that right now, I think that the best thing she could do is get out of the camera, take a break, and clear her head. Yes. That's what I think. Because you see that four. I really do see that. That's what I tell you. The five. She's not quiet. She's about to come up. I see it. There is that red horse. There is that red knight. When I see that there is somebody with a lot of energy, a lot of fire, something's coming on the scene. She will be back on fire with excitement, with some drama or something going on in her life. I definitely see she will return. She's in a quiet place. Right now, I also see that what she was doing, I think she was about her business, about her money, fixing her finances, fixing things like that, because I definitely see the Queen of Pentacles. So that lets me know that she was fixing her life, just taking time out to get her life in, especially when she did the show. She didn't sound right, you know. Remember that sound, the moose call? Remember the moose call? And I think that this is affecting her money and everything. And I really think that in the center of it, I think Tamar took a sabbatical and said, I'm going to just stay out of the light for a little bit. and get my head together. What you see? Go ahead,
Yes,
baby.
what I see is that ironically, along with the magician, every element is out.
You're right. You're right. You're right. Earth,
Mm-hmm. Fire,
air,
water.
pentacles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That magician is standing out.
Is standing out. She's about to come with something. She's about to come with some drama or some kind of new creativity. It could be a new song. It could be music. It could be a relationship, but she's about to come with something innovative, something new, or she's coming with drama with JR, which I hope that's not it. But I definitely see this knight dashing in. And when I see the night is about business. It's about business. And so she's not going to be gone that long. She will be back. She will make her presence known again. But right now, I think she took time out for mental, for physical, for financial, and to get herself together. She really needed to take a vacation. She really did. And as she come back full circle, she will be back. You will be hearing from Tamar again soon. Do you have any questions?
Yes, my question I want to know is Tamar really over JR?
I see here, I can only tell you what ran to my mind.
Okay.
I see that there was some kind of sexual connection that she has. As you can see, you see fire. Fire is always about the sexual energy. Also, we don't like to deal with it, but it also deals with creativity because creativity creates babies. Yeah. And you can't have babies unless you're going to go surrogate or natural. Right. And I definitely see her sitting there with her legs open with the cat protecting as a guard. So I definitely see that there was some kind of physical thing that maybe she has missed. Okay. And I see that sunflower on the side. So I definitely see that maybe something sexually she missed about him. I think that could have been something that was hard for her to get over or whatever. I'm trying to be mild about it. Fill in the blank.
Yeah, we've done lines.
Okay, what else?
My next question is Tamar currently dating?
Right now, I definitely don't see anyone because I see the Page of Cups. So that means she's still emotional. There's really nothing going on in her life. Not really, but I really think that this is just a downtime for her. I don't think that she's really... And I think she really needed some headspace. I really do. I think she's doing her, but I think she's just staying out of the camera for a little bit. I don't see her with anyone. I'm telling you, I'm really getting the idea that JR hurt her. And she's dealing with that. Even though she's moving forward, she's getting over it, definitely. But overall, it's not as dark as it used to be.
Okay.
It's not because you do see all the elements at play. So it's about putting everything in its proper place. So she's not where she was, right? Mm-hmm. So she's not where she was, but she's still healing because it hasn't even been a year. And unfortunately, when you love someone, you just don't get over it like... It takes time. It could take a year or two. Sometimes it takes a year just to get back in, but it could take 2 to 3 years to really get over a severe heartache. You maybe can date and stuff in a year, but it may take 2 to 3 years to get over it, to really put it behind you. And remember, they were breaking up, getting back together, breaking up, getting back together. This has been the breakup. And I definitely see that it was a struggle. Sexually, I think that it was a struggle of that. I think that she's able to move past that. However, I think it's still emotional for her. I still think it's emotional. However, she's getting it under control. And I'm proud of her because it was not easy.
No, it was not easy.
Again, what I see she's definitely, this is really, it's later. It hurt her. And I really think that she took time out for her. I really do. And I do think that she is getting over him rapidly. Much to be expected because she is, what's her sign? She's a Cancer.
I think she's a Cancer.
I think she's a Cancer. I'm not sure. But I definitely see, let me look at our cards while Baby Corn's looking.
We was close. A Pisces.
I knew she was water.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely see water. I think that they just hurt her and humiliated her. And I think she needed time to heal. And I'm going to stick with that. I think this is a time for healing. And while she get everything in order, but I definitely see her coming back. And I think that it was a very emotional, draining, everything was new and wonderful. And I think that JR killed it because he was unable to forgive and to forget. That's what I see. You have a question or you good?
I think I'm good.
I think I'm good too. So let's just go ahead on and see what are the last three ending cards have to say about Tamar, because we see she is moving forward. Definitely. This was not easy. And to lay low and to stay out of the camera and to give herself time to heal.
Mm-hmm.
Because she was JRing all over the place.
She really was.
She was like, she couldn't talk. She couldn't do anything. You know, when you're in love with somebody, you talk about them. You think about them. They're on your mind all the time. So she took time out, and I'm glad she did. But she will be back. She just had to get herself together. And the three cards, I do think, and I'm going to ask this. So 3 cards. The bedroom, I did say it was something sexual with them. I see a cat, feminine energy, and I definitely see spring. So when I look at this, I see the bedroom. Like I said, I think the intimacy and that stuff, I think she really missed that because it shows right above the magician. Mm-hmm. So I definitely see that that was something that was hard, the intimacy and how he made her feel. I think she misses that. I think that she's putting it in its proper place. However, as a feline, as a cat, I think that she is being self-centered right now. She is focusing on herself. She is loving on herself, and she is pushing it away and saying, I cannot allow him in my space. I think she is pushing that love and saying, you are not real. You are a delusion. I got to get away from these thoughts. You are not for me. And pushing him away, pushing that cup away and saying, this, you don't make me stable. You're not good for me. And I'm getting you out of my system. I've done it once, I've done it twice, and I'll do it again. You are not the one for me. And I see her as rejecting the delusion of that cup that JR gave her, and unable to forgive. And on the last, I see spring. And sometimes, like I said, we're going through the winter solstice. And sometimes things have to die so we can emerge again. And I definitely see an emerging. I definitely see a dying away of really saying, I'm over this mentally. I'm ready. I'm over it. And I definitely see that she is coming back again. Took a sabbatical, coming back with some new energy, something new, whatever that is. And I definitely see the spring is back in her step. And I definitely see that we will be hearing something from Tamar soon, whether it's music, whether she's in a movie, whether she got a show, something is coming because she's coming in full force and she's been working on something. It could be an album. I don't know, but I definitely see, but whatever it is, she's been about her coins, thinking about her money, and she will be back with something. So we're looking for Tamar to return. And that's what I get. So the cards are saying, yes, there was an intimacy. It was very hurtful. And it was hard for her to get over that intimacy that they shared. But her as being that cat and a feminine energy, I see that she's like, I'm going to have to be self-centered. I'm not going back to him. I think she's putting her foot down about it. I think she's really dealing with it because he really, really hurt her and humiliated her. And I think that right now she's coming back. It could be in the spring, but she will be back with something new and something innovative. You can count on that. So I hope that you enjoyed this reading on Tamar. I know I did. We needed something, and I'm glad that the person mentioned it. Make sure you put her name down.
Yes,
Thank you for mentioning Tamar. But it just looked like Tamar was in a dark place, and Tamar is rising. She's dealing with all of that. And she will be again. She is coming back, and I definitely see Tamar is coming back more grounded and ready for the next adventure.
Well, if that's the case, I think Tamar's therapist finally did her job.
I think that Tamar was doing therapy on Tamar as well.
Yeah,
so
sure.
Whatever this is, I wish Tamar nothing but the best.
Yes.
I'm glad that she took time out for herself because she was looking a hot mess. And I'm glad that she will be back. She will definitely back. On fire, big and bold as ever. And with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this reading on Tamar Braxton.
Yes.
So, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. It means so much to us. You have no idea. It really helps us with the algorithm. Now, with that, we can say what? Sunflowers.